Okay, welcome to White Tiger Kenpo, lesson 11 of Orange Belt. In this lesson, we're going to review reverse hammerlock, A and B, as well as anvil, A, B, C, and D. So, let's bow in and we'll get started. Okay, so reverse hammerlock is your first technique in this lesson. This is for a hammerlock from behind, just like it says. The difference between this technique and your passing the horizon technique is the fact that this technique is a cross arm grab rather than a straight arm grab. Passing the horizon is a right to right, where reverse hammerlock is going to be a left to right. So passing the horizon wouldn't work in this particular case. But and that's the only similarities those two have. So, like any of our techniques, we start with our trigger position, which would be the right hand behind the back. And as I've been teaching throughout these videos, as soon as someone grabs your hand, we will counter grab them on most occasions. And we're going to counter grab with our right. Now the A version, we're assuming they're up close. We don't have the room to step back and strike. So we need to step forward because we also want to pull them off balance and kind of get them unstable so it's a little easier to continue with the technique. So from here we counter grab with our right. We take our right foot and step to the 10-30 position. Then from here we will pivot from a soft bow, because you want to step into a soft bow because you're going to need a power pattern because you're having a strike. And this is a circular strike, so we're going to use a soft bow as we drive back and across the elbow. Now we don't want to strike right at the elbow. There again, you want to hit just above the elbow as hard as you can, followed by a hammer fist to the groin. This particular technique is a very simple 1-2 style move. That's what we would call an initiation move. And because of that, you want to consider some other ways to follow up because it's most likely not going to work or not really finish a fight in a 1-2 move scenario. So we're going to counter grab with our right. Step back left. I'm sorry, my fault. Let's try this again. We're going to counter grab with our right. We're going to step forward with our right because we're doing the A version into a soft bow as we take our left hand, drive it into the arm to try to break or hyperextend it. We're using our back as a brace so it doesn't move, and hammer fist the groin. Again, A version. Right hand behind the back, counter grab, step forward into soft bow, hand is in position, pivot to strike, and strike, hammer fist to the groin. Now, as I've also explained in previous lessons, whenever you're grabbed, at first go ahead and let them grab you so that you can get used to doing the techniques, get the mechanics down, get the basics down, and get the move down correctly. Once you have all that done and you're comfortable and confident with the technique, that you know what you're doing, then start having your partner try to grab your hand so that as soon as you feel the arm going back, you start the move. Okay? Now, because on the street, you're not going to stand here, let the guy put you, and then step. Okay? Obviously, that is not going to happen. But as soon as you feel that hand going back into what you know is a hammerlock position, you want to immediately step and hit and hammer fist. Then from there, you can follow up with any number of things. Front snap kick, roundhouse kick, back fist punch. So as you get used to this technique, start thinking beyond those first two moves. How are you really going to deal with this situation in a street situation? And it's good to work it with a partner so that as you strike them, you can kind of see how they are going to move. Now, don't hit them hard enough to hurt them, but do hit them hard enough to move them so that they know what's going on and they can react accordingly. Now, the B version to this is they are at arm's length. Usually, in this case, they usually have one on the shoulder, or in this case, it would be like this. And they're at arm's length trying to control you. So from here, because they are so far away, we don't really want to step forward because that'll pull us out of the target range. So we're going to step back. We're going to counter grab the hand. Again, step back with our left to the 430 position as we do a left elbow and a right hammer fist. And a left hammer fist, I'm sorry. Okay, again, here, grab, step back with your left. Left elbow, left hammer fist to the groin. It's identical to A, no difference other than you're stepping back into your opponent in order to gain some distance and hammer fist, okay? And that is reverse hammerlock. Just like the A version on B, think of how you might follow this up. There again, it's only an initiation move, so a 1-2 move doesn't usually end a confrontation. Usually there has to be a few other moves afterwards unless you get real lucky with your strikes. Okay, on to the next technique, which will be anvil. Anvil A, B, C, and D is another grab. If you've noticed throughout this belt mainly deals with grabs of every possible kind and gives you several different options and different ways you could possibly handle a grab. In this case, we got both hands grabbed. Now, you learned in yellow belt with twisting talon, you want to go against the thumb whenever you are grabbed to get a release. You go against that thumb, they can't hang on. You sit there and pull against the fingers, you're going to lose every time if they're stronger than you. So, or if they're in a position of power, like pushing down. So you always want to come up against that thumb or out against the thumb, depending on the way the grab is and what you're doing. And since this is a double grab, we're going to bring the both hands as we step back right up to our shoulder. So we're going to go right against that thumb, just like that. Okay, so your first move on this is pull back. This will pull them off balance slightly if they're really hanging on, and they should release the hands. Then from here, you're going to back strike out and then come back to chamber. Okay, what you're trying to do is you don't want to strike the hands down because then the chest and the face will come forward, which will block our final strike. You want to spread the hands out and away from the body to open up the sternum for the last strike of this particular technique. So as you pull the hands, we're going to back strike outwards. Okay, we don't want to snap. We want to strike and follow through. Okay, because we want to bring those hands right into chamber and into a position as we step forward right again with what we call a double butterfly strike. In other words, your palm, fingers pointing outwards, kind of looks like the butterfly wings, and we're going to step forward into a hard bow as we do a butterfly strike to the solar plexus. So it'll be easier from this angle. 1, back knuckle out, get those hands out and away, expose that chest and solar plexus, hands come into chamber, and then you step forward into a hard bow. At the same time, you're striking with your butterfly strikes. Okay, so it's a linear strike, so we use a hard bow. Again, step back right, back knuckle into chamber, step forward right, double butterfly strike to the solar plexus. Okay, from here, step back, back knuckle strike, bring them into chamber, step forward, double butterfly strike. Then we have the B version. Now everything is based on A. Once you know A, the rest of them are really easy. We're just going to add or subtract a move. In this case, we're going to add a move. As the hands are grabbed, we're going to step back just like we did on A. 1, 2. But instead of stepping forward, they're maybe a little too close to us. So if we step forward, we'll be jammed up and we won't get that strike in that we're looking for. So we're going to come in, we're going to back knuckle, bring the hands into chamber. We're going to front snap kick the groin and try to push them back a little bit as we land forward into a hard bow with a double butterfly strike to the solar plexus. So it's identical to A. We're just going to add now a front snap kick to this. So from here, we step back, strike the radial nerves, bring the hands into chamber, front snap kick, rechamber that kick, set it down where you want it to be as you land into a hard bow with a double butterfly strike. Again, 1, strike, kick, butterfly strike. Okay? So we have A, 1, clear the arms into chamber, step forward, butterfly strike to the solar plexus. We have B, opens up the exact same way, except now we're going to add a front snap kick and land forward into, or I should say set down forward and go into a hard bow butterfly strike. Now the C version is identical to B, except this time we're going to go into a cat stance. For whatever reason, we don't have the room to step back. Somebody's there's a car, there's a wall, any number of reasons, or we just don't have the time. We're just going to draw, step back left, draw to a right cat stance as we bring those hands up. So this will be one move. Okay, so as soon as they grab, clear those arms. Then strike them to get them up and open, front snap kick, and land forward. Okay, again, hands out, one, strike, kick, and forward. Okay, so let's go through these again. We have anvil A, hands out, we step back, clear the arms. So this should be your first move. One, then strike. That's two. Step forward with the hard bow, butterfly strike is three. Then we have the B. First move, second move, kick, and land forward. Okay, so we're going to go one, two, kick, strike. Then we have the C version. Draw to cat, clear the arms, front snap kick, and land forward. Which brings us to our final variation of anvil, which is anvil D. This is simple, straight, and to the point. For whatever reason, you can't clear these arms. Okay, you can't get your hands released. So you don't want to spend time fighting with these wrists while they gain more and more of a position. You want to immediately get out of the situation you're in and change so that you're more in control than they are. So if you can't get this part done, don't worry about it. Immediately go to a spread arms and front snap kick. Because remember, no matter how hard they hang on, they cannot lock out their shoulders. So you can't stop them from spreading their arms. Okay, you can stop them from releasing the grip, but you can't stop them from rotating that arm. So what you're going to do is just spread and kick right up front. So as soon as they grab, you can't get loose, spread and kick. So we have anvil A. Hands out, step back, back knuckle, step forward, double palm strike or a butterfly strike. Okay, from here, anvil A, one, back knuckle, strike. Then you have anvil B. Step back, back knuckle, front snap kick, land forward. Again, from this angle, one, back knuckle, kick, butterfly strike as you go into a hard bow stance. Then we have the C version. We're going to draw a cat, back knuckle, kick, hard bow, the butterfly strike. From here, cat, back knuckle, kick, butterfly strike. And then we have D, which is just really simple. Spread the arms and kick. Okay, so let's recap of what we got. So the first technique is reversing hammerlock. A, hand behind the back, step right, 10-30, left elbow, strike to the arm, trying to break it, left hammer fist to the groin to double them over. A great follow-up for that, grab the groin, elbow the chin, stand them back up, and then you can go back into some other stuff. B variation, counter grab, step back with your left, elbow, hammer fist, okay? So A, forward, B, back. Otherwise, they're identical in the technique. Then we have anvil A, step back right, back knuckle, step forward, and strike. From here, 1, 2, 3. Then you have the B variation. So we're going to add the front snap kick to it. So we're going to go 1, 2, kick, and down. Then from here, this angle, same thing. 1, 2, kick, land into a hard bow with your butterfly strikes, one to either side of the sternum. Then we have the C variation. Draw to a cat stance, clear the arms, front snap kick, land forward. From here, cat, back knuckle, kick, land forward. And then of course D, spread them, front snap kick. Okay, so those are your next two techniques. You're moving right along. You guys are doing great, so keep hanging in there and keep moving forward. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to contact me, and I'll be happy to answer them to the best of my ability. Until your next lesson, keep moving forward and keep up the great work.